Hi Collective, welcome to the channel. I'm Crystal, Divine Messenger. So we're going to get started on this teaching, okay? Really, all of my teachings are like revelations. They're all little mini things, right, that we're finding out together here. So anyways, I felt to say it like that. I was wanting to find out more about the false light matrix and to get more answers about the Pleiadians, okay, especially with everything that's going on with the gateway to Sirius opening up, right? As I said, that it opens on the 27th of July. It's kind of when the corridor opens up, leading us into 8-8 into Lionsgate. So this is a major time of awakening, accelerated ascension, right? And that was leading me towards like where I was talking about what was it with the download that I was receiving that the Pleiadians, that there's a lot of Pleiadians that are here at this time that are part of a false matrix programming, a false light, as they are leading souls and individuals, like helping this race, okay, earthlings, okay, like accelerate and awaken to higher levels of ascension. And I was like, well, higher levels of consciousness being reached is, to me, ascension. It is awakening, but it's really about remembrance. Okay, so what is this? I was just like, what are they talking about then, where it's like false? Like, to me, it's not the entire, okay, you know what I mean, like Pleiadian rays, star seeds that are doing that. I feel that there are some individuals that are using it for their own agenda and their own purposes. I don't think that it's all, like, I think that that download was meant for like a specific part. Like, there's always the ones that go rogue, right? And I don't feel it was like that I was interpreting it as there are some that have gone rogue to not be part of the Pleiadian agenda of awakening souls and individuals into the false light matrix, to kind of duplicate, to try to harvest souls for their own personal gain. Like, I don't think it was like that. I think that things are meant to be flipped, because I was like, I'm getting mixed signals. Some of my communications and downloads I feel were getting scrambled because of certain energies that I had around me, right? And I don't know, I think it was like a week ago or so that I did that reading, and that's why I didn't touch any more on it until I got more clarity, right? So more what I was getting is, I was like, all right, so now that I've cleared out some energy and stuff, let's find out more about what's going on with that, right? So I was asking my guides, I was like, so what is going on with this false light, right? Programming or whatever. And I was getting Loosh. Okay, now Loosh is a term that is related to alleged forms of energy or life force energy. Loosh is a term that is originated from metaphysical and spiritual community, particularly in the New Age belief. It is referred to alleged forms of energy or life force that is generated through sentient beings, especially humans, during emotional experience. And I was like, well, what are sentient beings, right? So sentient beings are defined as one who perceives or responds to sensations of various kinds, such as sight, hearing, touch, taste, smell. Sentient beings are alive and can feel a perceived sense of surrounding, demonstrating awareness, responsiveness in religious and philosophical contexts. Sentient beings are referred to living entities that possess consciousness and the ability to experience sensations, emotions, suffering, and joy. What this was showing me more towards, right, as I was talking about the sentient beings and needing Loosh, is this is more showing me like psychics, right, and the spiritual community, a lot of the false prophets, I've been noticing a lot of spiritual workers, okay, that are really kind of siphoning off of this energy and using it for their own personal agendas, their own personal gains, kind of for this Loosh energy, right? Like, I was looking a lot at these love cards, right, that I was guided to getting, right? And I was realizing, like, when I was using it, my current energies, right, and what was going on, and when I was pulling energies that were coming off of this just last night, like, I wasn't getting the darker decks. This deck is split like half and half. But it's like, but I've been realizing that when I'm watching readers, when I'm watching content online, that the only thing that's coming out is all this negative energy. There's so much stuff where it's like, where are the good cards? You know what I mean? These decks aren't all negative. Why are there only, it's just like, I've been realizing that it's like, these readers are actually pulling off of the dark energy because of what it's giving. They're the viewers, they're connected. Like when you're putting your energy into something, you're giving it your life force energy. People don't realize, like these children today do not realize that they are giving their most important thing away, their life force energy. They're giving it away to these boxes. They're giving it away to the cell phones, to the platforms, to these things. They're putting, that's the piece of your life that you are not going to get back. Right? That's why I say, like, it's a beautiful thing. And I know you're watching this on the YouTube platform or whatever, so you're watching this on a device. But that's why I say you have to be careful to watch this stuff in moderation. And that's why I've said before, like, I'm not going to pull on your energy too long. I don't do my readings no hour or so longer or whatever. Do you realize the life force energy that you're pulling on people? Like, we feel your energy. That's why I say that all my readings are literally timeless, because literally, like, I can feel the energy of my viewers watching my content, even though I'm recording it, and you're going to be seeing this after I've recorded it. Whether it makes sense or not to you, the way that time, the construct of work in this 3D realm is not how it really runs, right? It's just, it's a construct. It's not real. Time is non-linear. Everything is simultaneously like existing. The past, present, and future is all on, like, it's just, it's never like destroyed energy. It just transforms and okay, I feel like I'm losing some of you here because, like I said, I am. So anyway, like, I'm not going to explain too much. I'm going to go back to where I was. But what I'm getting at is, like, I don't realize if some realize that they're pulling on this loosh, because it does get like addicting and it gets exciting, and we're all here to kind of dabble, experience, play, finding ways. Like, we all got to eat, right? We all have to find ways to make money in this matrix, right? And that's why, like, don't say the money's the root of all evil. Like, you needed to survive it. It's what it was constructed in this realm, but it's about how you're getting it, right? Like, some don't care. It's one of these things, like, you don't care if you're causing destruction. That's why, like, I was really careful with, like, the collective readings, and, like, I'm really careful with, like, personal readings that I give people, because I'm not going to go destroy somebody's, like, life or block them from the lessons that they're meant to be learning, because I'm going to mislead them and tell them, like, oh yeah, you're dealing with somebody that's cheating on you, you're dealing with somebody that's doing this or whatever. I'm not going to pull off people's emotional state. I'm not going to pull off that loosh. I'm not about, you know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm one of the rogue ones, right? Is it really that? Is it really the rogue ones, or the ones that don't want to succumb to pulling of emotional frequencies from manipulation, control? Or is it really that there are just some dark Palladians that have their own secret agenda? Maybe it really is split half and half, or more than that. Or maybe, you know what I mean? I really don't know how high up this goes. This is just me starting to uncover this, but I've kind of had the feelings before, but that's why, like, it was so hard for me, because I'm like, no, you're like soul family. Like, I feel the connection with you. I know that you're part of my star tribe, but why are you like this? Why are you stuck in this programming? Like, why are you pulling off the Loosh? So maybe I was part of that. Maybe that was part of my plan, but then after coming down here, and I'm just like, you know what? No, like, I don't want to pull out people. I don't want that Loosh. I don't know. Like, I would rather not have that life force energy. Like, I don't want to be a part of it. So maybe this is me finding out and uncovering that. Nope, this is just me going rogue. Okay. So I don't know. Take it what you would. Like, but if you're one of these readers out here, like, you can break out of this, right? Like, to me, it's just, you're going to be stuck in a trap. Like, you want to have more beautiful life force energy. Love conquers all. We know that. So stop pulling off these dark energies. Because what I'm getting is, they keep showing me, like, Monsters, Inc. too, right? And, like, these theme parks and stuff. Like, I will not bring my children to theme parks. I will not. Don't look at me like that. I'm against those energy harvesting systems, and I really believe that that is what they are. They were put into place. You know how many rides I've been seeing too, where they're getting hung up and stuck, and literally that happened to me, and that's probably why I got stuck on a ride when I was a child by one of these little pop-up carnies or whatever. I got stuck on a ride that kept going and going and going, and it couldn't stop, and they were literally coming over trying to stop the ride, and they couldn't. And they the thing was jammed up or whatever. I don't know why they just can't go shut the power down. I think it's like a fear thing, or like a fear tactic. Is it like a game? Is it like a sick game where they have to act like the controls aren't working or whatever, and like break the controls or whatever to get the ride to stop. I don't know. It's just, I've always been the mindset like, why didn't they just go unplug fucking power or whatever to the ride and shut it down that way? Or is it just people freak out and panic and they don't know how to stop the ride, or they really is like they can't just shut the power down to certain ride? I don't know why they're bringing that memory back to me of something, but like literally, like they're dangerous. Okay, look at how many things that have happened. But anyways, what I'm getting at is they use these rides and all of that to energy harvest. They really do. They're these energy harvesting systems, and they use them to pull in energy. Not to mention all the underground tunnels and all of the things that are underneath these. You know what I mean? They're like big generate. Like I've seen them. Like there's so much corruption underneath all of them. All of them. Maybe that's what I'm part of this. Maybe I'm part of tearing down all of this. Maybe this is where we're going to uncover where all the hidden and stolen children in the world are. Okay, I need to stop. Lots coming out here. What I'm getting at, all this from Loosh. Thanks, guys. Okay, so, there's just, you got to be careful with your life force energy, who's taking it, who you're subscribing to, who you're watching, what you're putting your energy into. Like I've really been seeing all of the things that have been pulling off of me. I've really been seeing like where I've been putting my life force energy, where I've been getting guided, and I realize I've been watching people manifest off my energy too. I've been like, oh, isn't this funny? You know, because I know that I'm very, very powerful, and I know that like I touch people and I give people a lot of blessings, like when I feel like I'm like, touch that, do this, like it's magic. Like it's something where I knew that when what I put energy into, it grows. But there's people that have manipulated and controlled to get me to give them my energy, and for doing that, that's manipulation and control, and that's gonna that's not going to be working out anymore for you. So if you start to see people where things are starting to be, things are starting to be destroyed, falling apart. When you see people having their karma, like I don't want to see it, so don't show me it. Okay. Sorry, I'm talking to my guys right now. They're trying to show me certain things that are happening because they've been showing me all the people that have been energy harvesting right off of me to manifest and create what they want. I don't want to see it. Okay, it's being handled. These things are being, I'm sorry, I'm trying to block this stuff out right now. That's what I mean. Like, you have to stop letting these people manifest your energy. And I'm not the only one, right? This Loosh, this is you viewers, giving the wrong people your life force, your energy. Like if you realize that you're watching something because do you feel like drawn to it, like if you feel almost addicted to it, like you have to watch somebody every day. You have to, and all they're doing is just talking about all this negative stuff. Why are you watching it? They're getting rises in emotions out of you. They're stealing your life force energy. Do you know, like, when you're putting off those emotions, how much that is draining you? You know, and it's, you know, the fear, the anger, they're just, I don't like it at all. So, be careful of all this stuff. These readers that all they got is darkness in their cards, right? All they're talking about is all the things that people have done to you. Hello, we in a mirrored reality here. You're experiencing all of the things, so they are keeping you stuck in a trap because they're keeping you in this energy. They're rattling you, they're getting you angry, they're making you feel like these people have deceived you and hurt you and used you and manipulated you and cheated on you and all of these things. How do you think that's making you feel? No. Stop feeding their loosh. Stop giving them that. Stop it. No. It's all wrong. Now, when somebody's doing these things to you, you were a mirrored reality for it, if they were. And like I said, it's not always that. Like, if you don't realize, like, sometimes you come into an alignment. Like, let me talk about my situation. Is the best way that I can explain it, right? So it's like my lover, right? He really was never loved right before. Never. Was always loved with conditions, right? Narcissistic love is all that he knew. So when I came about and started to show him unconditional love, he didn't know how to receive it. He didn't know how to take it, right? And it was like it made him nervous. It made him uncomfortable. It made him like, it was like he had to like push me away. He had to start to create conflict, all because it was just like he didn't know how to act or whatever. Still continued to show it to him, right? Then it started to get to where it started to build up his confidence and everything. Okay, so I was like, all right, so this is starting to work now that he's starting to build up a confidence or whatever. And then he started to get controlling over me and all of that. And then, but then it started to get to where it was still like it wasn't working, where he needed to start to like, he started to feel like, well, wow, look at her loving me. Like, she's weak then. For her to love me, like, she ain't nothing special because look at me. You know what I mean? Like, it fed his ego, and it turned into this thing where he couldn't accept the love. You see what I mean? Like, how it was, like, flipped, and then he had to start going and looking for it in other places. Then he started to want to chase and get love from people that were kind of rejecting him, and then it was like a chasing type. Then it's like it made him, like, he was so focused on wanting what he couldn't have, right? And then wanting to better himself and all of that, but just totally blocking out me and the love that I was giving him, because he took it as like, well, for that to love, you know what I mean? Like, it completely messed up his mind or whatever. But you know, and that led towards cheating and all of that. And, you know, and I feel the same too, like cheating, it's not always just physical, right? Like, it's not always, like, that's why I don't even think he realizes that he was cheating, that he was going around giving all of these girls and everybody all of his energy through smiling at them, flirting at them, staring at them, fantasizing about them, to self-pleasuring to them, to being online, looking at their photos. That is all cheating. Okay? It is emotionally cheating. You're giving all of your life force energy to somebody other than your partner. Right? If you're sitting there fantasizing about other people, thinking about other people, staring at other people, looking at their pictures, commenting on their stuff, messaging them, hiding messages, that is all cheating. Like, God, guys are so, like, and even girls, like, you're so stupid if you think that that is not. You know what I mean? But in their mind, it's like, no, I physically didn't go kiss them. I physically didn't touch them or whatever. That is not. So anyways, do you see? Okay, let me bring it back. So bringing it back, right, to where I'm at is that he didn't realize that he was cheating. He didn't realize he was putting all his life force energy into chasing others and into his appearance, you know what I mean, and into all of that, and was completely just leaving me over here. Not putting any energy into me, not even acknowledging the love, all of that, overlooking me, right? So that, you know, is unfortunate, that, but it all comes from woundings, you know what I mean? But if somebody was to read my energy, which they have, and it's been all like, oh, look at this, it's just a cheater, a player, da-da-da, like, I've seen him constantly, like, we couldn't go anywhere without him having to talk to girls or anybody right in front of me, watching him give compliments, flirt, call everybody hun, sweetie, dear, just like, I watched him be a whore with his energy right in front of me. You know what I mean? So I was fully aware of what's going on. Like, I didn't need to see, You know what I mean? Like, but you know what I mean? But for me, like, I was just like, oh, it's because he finally feels confident in all of this. And he must really feel that scare. And look at him trying to get a rise. And I took these games, like, I was fully aware of the game. So what I'm getting at is, like, once it comes into the cards or when somebody else is reading the energy or whatever, I seen how strong it was trying to pull on me and how much everybody was trying to get me to see it. You know what I mean? And there's just so much, like, karmic readers. And all these love cards, I got some, they're not all karmic, which shows me it's the fucking readers. Okay, so be careful the loosh that you're giving them. Oh, it makes me sick. All right, I'm at 20 minutes. This one only has 24 minutes. Like, look, let me show you. Let's pull a few cards here for the current energy between me and my past lover. What's going on here? Well, I have toxic environment. Okay, bad advice, low vibrations, emotional leashing, and karmic relationships. Like, he was a karmic relationship for me. He very much was, but it also taught me to love myself, right? And because I was a mirror to it. All of the things that he was doing to me, I was doing to past lovers. It got me to see a version of myself and for me to change those things about myself. And you know, this relationship got me to actually break down the walls of my heart and to be open to love. Without this relationship in this situation, I would not have evolved and I would not be to where I am. That's why I'm so grateful of this relationship. I will never forget this relationship. Never, ever. That's why I got us these rings with the heartbeats on it and things, because I wouldn't have made it this far in my life without him. Right? And I will never forget that. But if I would have listened to the advice, the readings, oh wait, I did. And I broke up with them. But then I was like, nope, I ain't listening to these witches and these bitches. And I got back together with him. And we carried on another couple years or whatever. And I will never take any of those years or any of those things back. I won't. And that's what I'm realizing, that so many people, they're missing out on their karmic relationships for soul evolution and growth. And they're keeping you guys caught up in these cycles because you're not learning, because you're pushing the blame off on other people instead of taking account for your own. Like, why were you a match to it? Look, planning, text, calls, hesitation, strategizing, wanting to take you out, back together, fresh start, second chances, good vibes only. Right place, right time, alignment, divine timing, meant to be. See, am I pulling all these? Oh, here's the love affair, the player energy, third party. But look at what's on the love affair too. Player, third party, hooking up, possible STD. Just because a third party card comes out in the love affair, it does not mean all of this stuff. But a reader's going to sit here, oh yeah, they played you, yeah, they got an STD, they be hooking up and all of that. No, he was literally just a player. And he liked to go around and physically, it was the energy, the smiles, the conversations, I know that. I know that he wasn't going around with his sexual energy. Oh, look, they're getting pissed off. I feel it. I know he wasn't going around like a whore banging everybody, but they're going to read the energy and tell me that. You know what I mean? Because that's going to pull more loosh for them. Look, red flag signs, evidence, cheating, deception. There were red flags there. Yes. And there was cheating, but like I said, it's not always physical, so be careful with what they're projecting. Soul searching, inner work, deeper meaning, and spiritual path. Look, real love, the real deal. True bond, unshakable, divine union. And a lot of this was just outsiders too. Every single time we'd separate too, all the same witches and bitches would come in and be pulling on my energy, right? Look at this, mind games, gaslighting, testing you, analyzing you, and emotionally unavailable. Conflict resolution, compromising, making amends, rebuilding trust, and positive outcomes. Fighting, trust issues, one-sided detachment, poor communication. Love that lasts, timeless, real, deep affection. But do you see how it's like a balance with my cards? It's not all bam, 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 bam. Look, childish, immature, insecurities, verbal conflicts, and victim mentality. You know what I mean? But it's a balance. So be careful when you're watching readers that there's a balance.